Go to start save screen. So give me a little bit of time to prepare. Very good. Let's see here. Go and drop this. All right. So we tonight. Hello. We tonight are going to be playing a old ass deck. That deck is going to be Gruul Oil. And I'll show you that deck in just a moment here. I'm just getting things set up. Da 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 da. Scabba doo 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 doo. There we go. Okay. So drop that there. Go ahead and share this link. I just need to bring this up real quick. And we will be starting very soon. Okay, I think we are just about ready to go. All right, cool. So, how we all doing tonight? Y'all having a good time? I hope so. All right, here we are in the starting soon. Let's flip on over to gameplay. Boom. Hey, there we are. All right, let's sit up straight. So, tonight we are going to be playing this deck right here. This deck is an old mechanic that came out in Phyrexia All Will Be One. This mechanic revolves specifically around oil counters. So over time, every turn and based off of what you're playing, you're going to be playing cards that either come in with oil counters or generate oil counters based off of what you're doing throughout the course of the game. And some of these cards will utilize oil counters to activate abilities or to increase power or things like that. So, for instance, we have this right here, Evolving Adaptive. It's a 0/0 for 1 green mana. This creature enters with an oil counter on it. This creature gets +1/+1 for each oil counter on it. Whenever another creature you control enters, if that creature has greater power or toughness than this creature, put an oil counter on this creature. Seems simple enough. Good thing about the Evolving Adaptive is it's the smallest creature in the deck, with the exception of Exuberant Fuseling, which also gets bigger every turn with extra oil counters. You also have Churning Reservoir to put more oil counters on the cards you already have in play, which is pretty decent. Then you also have Armored Scrap Gorger, gets oil counters on it whenever you tap it for mana and remove something from a graveyard. Cankerbloom is just here as a pretty decent utility tool. You can sacrifice it to destroy an artifact, to destroy an enchantment, or to proliferate, which means to add additional oil counters to the other things that you already have. Now you also have Urbrask's Forge. Every turn, it gets an oil counter. Most people should be very familiar with Urbrask's Forge. It's a very, very strong card. But every turn, it gets an oil counter, and when you go to attack, you make an X1 red Phyrexian horror creature token with trample and haste, where X is the number of oil counters on this artifact. And you can ramp that number up with things like Churning Reservoir, or with the proliferation from Cankerbloom, or proliferating with Bloated Contaminator, which proliferates when it strikes an opponent, and is very easy to hit the opponent with this because it has trample. It's pretty cool. We also have Volt Charge. It's a bit expensive of a bolt, but it's in here because of the fact that it also proliferates, so that's why it's in here. Also, we have Migloz, the Maze Crusher. Honestly, one of my favorite creatures to come out of this set. It's a 4/4, and it comes in with 5 oil counters on it. You can pay 1 and remove an oil counter to give it Vigilance and Menace until a turn. You can pay 2 and remove 2 oil counters from Migloz. It gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Or you can pay 3 and remove 3 oil counters from Migloz to destroy an artifact or enchantment. So it's a pretty good utility creature. Comes in with a good amount of oil on it. And plus you can add more oil with the Churning Reservoir, with Cankerbloom, with Volt Charge, with Bloated Contaminate. You see what I'm getting at here. It's like the proliferation helps Migloz a lot. And to end our creatures, we have Evolved Spinoderm. 2 colorless and 2 green for a 5/5 creature that enters with 4 oil counters on it. This creature has trample as long as it has 2 or fewer oil counters on it. Otherwise, it has hexproof. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove an oil counter from this creature. Then, if it has no oil counters on it, sacrifice it. Now, when this creature first came out, it reminded me very much of an old card from, I believe it was Nemesis. Really, really old card. And this card was Blastoderm. It was a card that came into play with 3 fading counters on it. It was also a 5/5. Every turn you remove a counter. When no more counters exist, it goes bye-bye. So, unfortunately, this comes in with a little bit more, and it does a little bit more before it inevitably has to go away. But the good thing about playing with Proliferate is you can proliferate enough times over the course of a game to make sure that the Evolved Spinoderm never has to be sacrificed. So it's a pretty interesting little combination you got going on there. So this is the deck. Lots of oil, lots of ways to utilize oil. Power increases based off of oil. You got your basic lands, Mountain Forest, you got Carpetline Gorge, Carpelson Forest, and 4 Mishra's Factory. In the sideboard, we are running 3 copies of Lithomantic Barrage, which is great against white or blue decks, 2 extra Cankerblooms, 3 copies of Brotherhood's End, 4 copies of Obstinate Baloth for those nasty discard decks, and 3 copies of Tyvar's Stand for control decks. So that's the deck. We're going to play a series of games with this tonight. We're going to play some best of 3, we're going to play some best of 1, and just get some footage and play some games. So let's take it out there, play some games. Let's see, let's make sure my folders are up to the right area. Perfect. All right, so let's bring some oil to the table. We're going to start with some standard rank best of 1. Okay, first game, our opponent goes first. We have 3 lands, both of our colors, very nice. We have Exuberant Fuseling, Evolving Adaptive, a Cankerbloom, and an Evolved Spinoderm. Okay. What do they got there? Frontier and Boufflock. Okay, so this is a teamer deck. So let's start with the Carpetline Gorge. And I think we're going to play the Exuberant Fuseling first. Okay, plays a forest, doesn't really do anything with it. So let's go ahead and play a Cankerbloom. And they said, no thank you. That's okay, we'll attack for 1. Alright, play Mountain into Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Maybe that's why they were afraid of my Cankerbloom. Alright, let's go here. We're going to go Evolving Adaptive. We'll go Churning Reservoir. Attack for 1. It's not the most explosive opening. Timed Explosion. Okay. Unfortunate. That's okay. We get to play an Evolved Spinoderm next turn. Okay, and they discarded a Brotherhood's End and a Bonehorde Dracosaur. I think I'm just gonna play the Urbrask Forge instead. Attack for 1. We'll see if they're playing some artifact removal. But they already had one Brotherhood's End, so they might have another. Okay, they play up the Beanstalk, draw a card. Ghost Vacuum. Well, it's a good thing I don't care about my graveyard with this deck. Yep, extra counter for the Urbrask. Alright, well, I guess we'll play the Evolved Spinoderm. Alright. Bring in the 2-1. Or 3-1, actually. Attack for 3. Too bad I don't have that goblin anymore. He would have gotten some extra power there. Oh, and here comes the Dracosaur. Not great for me. Not great at all. Extra oil. Yeah, put the extra oil in the Urbrask's Forge. That first strike is really going to punish me. Let's play a Bloated Contaminator. So, we can attack with this. It'll probably get through. If I attack with the Evolved Spinoderm, it will probably get blocked by the Boneheart Dracosaur. I don't assume they would block this to that and this to that. They'd probably do it the other way. I really don't think attacking into this is very good for us. So, just attack with the 1. The first strike is really, really troublesome, and I don't have very good removal. I think the only removal we have in this deck is a bolt. Yeah. Yeah. Terror of the Peaks, they're really going to take over this game, so let's go ahead and concede this. Move on to the next game. Boneheart Dracosaur is pretty good. First strike is definitely not to be underlooked. Or overlooked, I should say. Go again. Let's say that loss came from the fact that, 1, that they had a giant first striker, and 2, our opening was really not great. Okay, we got Copperline Gorge and Foundry with a Fuseling, a Migloz, a Forge, a Scrap Gorger, and a Bloated Contaminator. We can probably keep a 2-lander on this just because we have the Scrap Gorger, in hopes that they don't destroy our Scrap Gorger. Let's keep it. Okay, they play a Swamp. Alright, I'm going to go with the Gorge and play the Exuberant Fuseling. It looks like you're holding priority. Do you have a cut down ready for me? Yeah, you do. I knew you had it. Okay, and they play a Soulstone Sanctuary. That's a pretty cool card. I like that one. 3/3 with all creature types is pretty nice. Ooh, a Ghost Vacuum. Gobble up my little guy there. Go for it. Alright. Mishra's Foundry into Armored Scrap Gorger. It will very likely destroy my Scrap Gorger before I have an opportunity to cast my Urbrask's Forge. Oh, now they just play an Supple Slasher. Okay. Well, let's go here, and we'll go with the Forge. And then we'll play an Exuberant Fuseling. You want to tap the Ghost Vacuum and remove it? Come on, do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Yeah, go for it. Anything to prevent that That one oil counter, right? Okay, so... Oh, a Rock Curse Rakshasa, huh? Interesting. Yeah, no blocks. You will be taking a lot of damage from that. Very, very much lots of damage. So let's see here. Well, good thing about the Rock Curse Rakshasa is it can't block. That's a good thing. So let's go to combat. Go to next. Attack with both of those. Boom, boom. And then I'm going to play... Do you want Migloz or do you want the Contaminator? We'll go with the Contaminator. And... Do you want the Fusing also? Yeah, let's play the Fusing. Alright, Fuselings get a little bit bigger. I like the combination of these unstoppable slashers with Rock Curse Rakshasa. That's pretty cool. Let's see here. Do we block with the Fuseling? Maybe. I don't think so. I think we just want to actually kill the slasher. Really sucks that the slasher has Death Touch. That's okay though. We'll figure things out. Quick, remove it before they can. Wait, did you remove the slasher rather than let it come back into play? That's an odd choice, friend. Alright, let's read the renew. It's black X. So if they draw an additional land, they'll be able to make 2 creatures unable to block this next turn. So what I need to do is I need to keep at least 2 blockers available. So what we're going to do is we're going to go next. We're going to attack with... Yeah, go to attacks. With just this and this. We're going to leave the rest behind. Yeah, because he really wants to be able to attack with the Unstoppable Slasher unhindered. So let's see. Did they get the land? They did not get the land. That means we potentially win this if they try to attack. They attacked. Okay. Go to blocks. Block with that. That's fantastic for us. He just threw the game away. He literally just threw the game away. Because that Rock Curse cannot block. If he has a cut down, he might be able to get rid of 1 Exuberant Fuseling. Well, not anymore. Sure. Let's play another Urbrask Forge. And just win the game. That was insanely close. Way too close for comfort. I'm really glad they did not draw an additional land that turn. Alright, let's go again. Good game. Okay. So we got 4 lands, 2 foundries, that's kind of cool. A Churning Reservoir, an Evolving Adaptive, and a Bloated Contaminator. I want to goes first. We'll keep. Okay, they open with a Seachrome Coast. I will open with Forest for Evolving Adaptive. Plains into Oracle of Tragedy. What does that do? When this creature enters or dies, choose one. Draw a card, then discard a card. Shuffle up to 4 target cards with mana value 3 or greater from your graveyard to your library. Oh. Mycosynth Gardens. I know what deck this is. This is either Omniscience or what is it? Simulacrum. Either way, this deck sucks. I hate playing against it. Alright. Let's play a Churning Reservoir. And unfortunately pass the turn, because we can't attack into an Oracle of Tragedy. Now, if it turns out that this is an Omniscience deck, we're just going to concede and move on to the next game. Okay, Rolling Dragonstorm, so they're going to draw and discard. Show me what you got. Oh, okay, maybe it isn't, because that's a Guardian of New Benalia. Alright, let's go ahead and play Mishra's Foundry into Bloated Contaminator. Get an extra coil counter, and then attack for 3. Draw and discard. What's the card? You've got the Omniscience Sleeve. Thopter Fabricator. Okay. You've got my attention. This is an interesting looking deck. You got a lot of draw and discard, so you're clearly trying to get things into the graveyard to reanimate. Seal from Existence on the Bloated Contaminator. What? You did it to that? Alright, cool. I'm into it. Here, animate. Alright. I'll play a Churning Reservoir too. Why did you do that to a Churning Reservoir? When there's like power on the table. That's wild. I don't know why they did that. Because like the reservoir is like not a key part of this deck. Okay. Split up, sure. Stack the Fabled Passage. Okay, the fact that I don't have a lot of stuff going on right now is not good. But oh, it has to attack. Cancel. Next. Attack. Alright, now give it the thing. There you go. Punch him. Okay, another Rolling Dragonstorm. And Duskro's Reliquary. Oracle of Tragedy. Okay. Alright, let's see if they let me attack or not. What's in your yard right now? A lot of random stuff. A lot of control elements. I've not yet seen your win con. Alright. Animate. Then animate this one as well. Attack. Yeah. Should have 5. Okay, if they tap out this turn, then we can potentially Volt Charge them to death next turn. Let's see what happens. Monument, okay. Oracle, good. Loving it. Alright. They discard a card, create a treasure. Nope, just draw a card. They're trying to get to something important, but unfortunately they will not have that opportunity because I have 2 of these. Good game, friend. GG. Bad bolts win games. I don't know if that was an Omniscience deck or what, but like they were trying to get to something, but that something never came up. All right, let's go again. Also, hi. How y'all doing tonight? Hope you're having a good time. I know I am. I'm playing this really weird bad deck, but it's somehow getting wins. All right. Carpus Forest and 2 mountains, Churning Reservoir, 2 Meaglaws, and a Forge I will keep. Opponent goes first. They open with a mountain. I'll hit them with a hello. How you doing? Reckless Lackey. First strike and haste. Interesting. Alright, let's go mountain into churning reservoir. Medical firebrand. Okay, so it's an aggro deck, for sure. Exorbitant Fuseling. Like that card. That card's pretty cool. Alright, let's go. Carpelson Forest. And we're pretty slow right now. We might just lose to all these little 1/1s. Goblin Oriflamme? Are you kidding me? Alright, I guess we just lose then, right? Alright, let's play this forest. And we're gonna play Meatglass. Alright, I hope you don't have something to, like, pump your creatures even more. Ooh. Alright. Firebrand. Alright, well. Block and kill a Firebrand, I guess. GG. Goblin Oriflamme, huh? You know what? I can respect it. Good job. Sometimes goblins just get there. Alright. Let's do one more best of one, and then we're going to start doing some best of three and see what that's going to look like. SSBM Keanu. Interesting. Is that like Super Saiyan Bad Manners Keanu? You go first. Awesome. So, Mountain Forest and Mishra's Foundry. 2 Volt charges, a Bloated Contaminator, and a Evolved Spinator. That's a really heavy hand. But I kind of don't want to mulligan this just because of the fact that like I have both my colors and 3 lands, so I think I'll keep it. Well, let's make our opponent guess what we're playing by playing the Mishra's Foundry first. Because that doesn't give them any clues to our colors. Okay, let's go Mountain. Unfortunately, it takes 2 mana for Mishra's Foundry to attack. Okay, so our opponent is Orzhov. At the very least, Orzhov. Okay, here we go. Urath's Forge. Forge comes in, make a dude. See if they want to remove said dude. They do not. Dude connects. Okay. Another Caves of Koilos. Do you have something to remove the Forge? That works. That works absolutely. Good job. Alright, we're going to go here and go Evolve Spinoderm. Hexproof, baby! Hopefully they don't have a sacrifice effect. No, they got a combo. That'll work. Alright, let's play a second Mishra's Foundry. And we will attack for 5. Okay, they take the damage. And then I will play Meatglass. End turn. Hello everyone. I'm glad to have you with me tonight. I'm playing an old deck with a outdated mechanic against current standard. And so far it's doing alright. Like our opponent is a little stuck on land at the moment. Go for the throat, huh? Yep. Nothing I do will make that matter. Duress, huh? Alright, you can have a Volt Charge. Out you go. Do you want to attack? I don't think so. Alright. Copperline Gorge, Bloated Contaminator. Attack for 5 with Trample now. No blocks? Yeah, alright, go to 6. End turn. There's a land. Very good. Beza. Alright, cool. Ooh, that puts them down quite a bit. Oh, they did gain a life, though. Okay. Alright, my turn. Okay, so let's go ahead and go for the attack. Let's act... No, we won't activate that. We'll just attack. How would you like to block today? Or would you like to block? Okay, you want to block like that. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. It's a treasure token. We're gonna play this Kinker Bloom. End turn. Let's see what you do. But cut down, huh? Alright. Well, I'll sacrifice it and proliferate. Make it so my evolved Spinoderm doesn't die. Pass. Now, if they try to target my Spinoderm this turn, I can Volt Charge them and proliferate again to counter. And that's exactly what they tried to do. 3 to you. Now, if they have another spell, they can... Okay, cool. Proliferate. Spell gets fizzled. Alright, put him to 1. Alright, my turn. Counter gets removed. Urbrask's Forge. Okay. Well, let's play the Forge. Let's see if they have a removal spell. They probably don't. If they're saying good game like that. They did have a removal spell, but it cost them life to do it. Awesome. What an Uno reverse card. Okay, so we played a handful of best of 1 games, and it did pretty decently. Not too bad. So let's take it into best of 3 now and see how it does. Ranked, best of 3, standard, Diddy Party, let's go. Not too shabby for an outdated mechanic. Not Jim. Okay, not Jim. How you doing today? Okay, waiting on opponent. They get to choose who will play first. Ooh, that is way too many lands. Now, I'm afraid that if I hit the mulligan button, it's going to give me like 2 lands. But I can't, in all conscience, keep a 5 land hand. That's a bit much. Okay, 3 lands. That's keepable. We'll keep that and send one of the evolved Spinoderms back. Alright, hit them with the hello. They open with a Sulphurous Springs, so let's open with a... Oh, hang on a second. Open with a Carpelson Forest, and we will play... Do you want the Exuberant Fuseling or the Evolving Adaptive? I think the Evolving Adaptive. Pay 1 life to get it. Fear of missing out, huh? Okay. That's a pretty good card. Hey, not too great for me. So, let's go with an Evolving Adaptive. And an Exuberant Fuseling. I guess just pass the turn. There's not a whole lot we can do at this moment. Now, if we can draw like a higher power creature next turn, that might change things. Okay, well, we get a land, so... Still not good. Still not good at all. We're getting all of our turn 1 plays and nothing else. No, I will not attack. We're just gonna sit here, I guess. Get a reunion. So they're trying to get some lands because they're stuck on lands at the moment. Okay. Discard a card, draw 2. What did they discard? They discarded Abyssal Harvester. Okay. Alright, my turn. Alright, well, we'll play the Carpus and Forest, and now we're going to play the Evolved Spinoderm, and everything gets bigger. Let's see. I'm just going to attack with everything at this point. Yeah, block there, block there. Pop, pop. Fuselings get bigger. There we go. Now we might be able to get into this game a little bit. Okay, Raucous Theater. They surveil for 1. And it looks like they liked what they saw, because they kind of snap-kept it there. It was probably a land. Now they can unearth the Scrapwork Mutt. That's something they can do. Okay, you can see they didn't do anything. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and play Mountain and Evolving Adaptive. Play all of our cards out onto the table. And then we're going to animate the Mishra's Factory. Just to get an additional attacker on the table. And get to swinging. Okay. That works for me. They just made my guys bigger, though. That's a good thing about the Mishra's Factory, or Foundry, I mean, is it is an artifact creature, so Fuseling does make it bigger. Alright, blocking the Fear of Missing Out. You have 1 colorless mana to work with, so I'm not too worried about that. What I am worried about is the fact that you still have 5 cards in hand that you can play with. Alright, get a Blazemire Verge. Do you have a board wipe? No, but you have a Zombify. And that really hurt. Okay, well, they're gone now, so they're not really going to be doing anything to themselves. Yeah, they're gone. Alright. This is another oil counter. Ugh, that's not a good thing to draw. Alright. Let's attack and see if they block. They do. Okay. This game's over. We're gonna go to the next game. That was a very awkward game. Okay, so what are we playing against here? We're playing against a Reanimator strategy. So what we want is honestly none of this stuff here. Like, none of this is going to do us any good. We don't really have any like anti-graveyard stuff in our sideboard. They're not playing blue or white, so that's not worthwhile. Brotherhood's End is going to probably hurt us as much as it hurts them. What we can do is we can bring 2 extra Cankerblooms in, just to have extra early game plays. And let's go ahead and drop 1 Spinoderm and 1 Churning Reservoir. And that should do us well. Let's play it. Alright, here we go. Here's to a better second game. Okay, 2 lands. A Churning Reservoir, Migloz, Scrap Gorger, Contaminator, and Spinoderm. It looks decent. We're going to keep it. Alright, turn 1. Churning Reservoir. Go. Okay, they open with a Raucous Theater. Alright, I'll play Forest and play Armored Scrap Gorger. That card, unfortunately, has a huge target on its back, because our opponent here is playing a discard strategy. Okay, we drew a Cankerbloom. We are going to play Evolved Spinoderm. Pretty good turn 3 play. especially against an Inti. Bitter Reunion. You're gonna discard a card, draw 2. They discard a Scrapwork Mutt. They also get a Dreams of Steel and Oil. That's good for them. Probably gonna take the Bloated Contaminator. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, put it onto a non-token creature. It'll be that. Okay, let's go ahead and play Exuberant Fuseling. And then you're going to go next and attack with those. Scrapgorger taps and removes Scrapwork Mutt to get an extra oil counter, becoming a 3/3. Now we attack. And they take all the damage. Okay, after that we're going to play Cankerblood. Alright, Sulphurous Springs. They attack. Oh, Rodmouth Viper. Okay. So I'm going to assume they're attacking with the intention of board wiping this turn. So I'm going to block. Do they have the board wipe? Nope, they have a Zombify. That's fine. Sacrifice an all permanent or discard a card. Yep, sacrifice the Churning Reservoir. Easy. Get an extra +1 counter on the Fuseling. Okay. Let's go ahead and play that. And we'll go ahead and play a Miglaz. And we go next. Attack. Remove Inti. You want to block? Yeah, you do. Alright, put him to 6. Extra oil counter on the Fuseling. And end turn. See what they do. Pass. Alright, they're attacking. Resolve. I will lose 8 life. And then take 6 from the Rotten Mouth. No blocks. Pass. Go to 5. Do you have anything else? Overlord. Okay. Full cast Overlord. Very nice. Let's see if they realize that Miglaz can get Menace. My turn. Okay. They may have realized that. Awesome. So, cool. Good game. Let's see here. So, the discard that they brought in against me was an Exile effect, so Bailoff is not going to be good for this match. Spinoderm, Tyvar Stand. They're not really playing a whole lot of removal either. Honestly, I think what we have is decent. So, let's go in. Alright, waiting on the opponent. Opponent goes first. Your opponent is choosing either to keep 7 cards or to mulligan, so let's see what they do. We have 3 lands, both of our colors, a Churning Reservoir, 2 Exuberant Fuselings, and an Armored Scrapgorger. Pretty decent hand against this deck. Survey says the opponent has kept a hand of 7 cards. We will also keep 7 cards. Alright, opponent goes first with a Restless Vents. We will open with a Mountain to play Exuberant Fuseling. Dreams of Steel and Oil. Take the Armor Scrapgorger. That's the smart play. There you go. Alright, play Raucous Theater. Put a card into the graveyard. No, I guess not. Okay, so in that case, we go Mountain into Fuseling and Churning Reservoir. And we attack for 2-1. They play a Swamp into the infamous Cool Claw. Alright, +1 counter there. Ugh. Getting that many lands is not good for us. So let's go next. Attack with both. Wow, they took it. Okay, cool. They probably thought I was holding something. I was not. I was not holding anything. I got 3 lands in my hand. That's it. Alright, pass. I'm attack? Sure. Go for it. Ow. Exile cards on top of your library to exile a non-land card. You may cast that card by discarding card rather than paying its mana cost. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, if they pull something huge, then we're in trouble. If you're missing out, okay. They discard if you're missing out. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. Then they get to draw and discard. Okay. Second main. Another fear of missing out. Draw and discard. That's a pretty good card to have in the graveyard. +1 there. Alright, that's cool. Let's go Mishra's Foundry and say next. Attack. Alright, you want to block there? And there. So we're going to go ahead and bolt charge there. And proliferate both of those. Unfortunately, now our board is empty, and they're probably going to win at this point. Overlord, okay. We really need to draw some creatures here, and not just more lands. Yeah, and now they get to attack twice, which is great for them. Ugh. Come on. Alright. Make it a dude. Attack with dude. Make dude bigger. Hit for 4. Pass the turn. Jeez, this is bad. Alright. They got another infamous Gruul Claw in hand. A Squapric Mutt. Thinking this might be going the way of the dodo for us. What are they waiting on? Okay, attack. Attack again. Yep. There you go. Play a Gruul Claw. Kidding me. Are you kidding me with all these lands? Yeah. And this is a pretty good deck made to, what's the term? Capitalize on that. But also the fact that we're drawing land after land after land is not good for us. I mean, all we're able to do right now is just attack with Mishra's Foundry. You're gonna block? Alright, sure. Well, let's make it bigger. Punch him. Yep. Yeah, big whoop. I probably would not have blocked if I was them. Yeah, that's a pretty good dreams right there. Right, draw and discard, see if they can get a land out of that. They did not draw land. Yeah, that's a pretty good dreams right there. Alright, it's gone. Oh wow, where were you 10 turns ago? Here, let's just play it. Play that. And sure, let's just... You know what? No. Yeah, no. This game's pretty much over as it is. Let's just attack with the one little dude. There you go. Have 1 damage. Go. We have an ability to block with a Mishra's Foundry once. Monument to Endurance. Okay, cool. So they're going to find a way to draw and discard a card, and then make me lose 3 life. Yeah. Alright. Make a dude. Unfortunately, it's the only dude I can do. I don't have enough mana to dude twice. So, go to blocks. Block there. And then we're going to take 2 damage from it getting to attack a second time. So this is our last turn. What do we get? Another land. Fantastic. Let's animate both of our boys. Attack with 2 little tards. And an extra little guy from Urbrask's Forge. And we'll punk him down to 3. And then hit him with the good game. Jesus. Yes. But it would need to be animated and able to block. If I tapped it to use it for mana to create a second blocking creature, I wouldn't be able to like animate the second one. Or maybe I would have. Block with the Foundry, tap it for colorless mana, and then if I have another land on top of the other Foundry, we could have animated. Yeah, we might have been able to pull that off and inevitably kill the fear of missing out. Yeah. Good lesson learned right there. Okay. What is that? Is that an orb? I think my client is glitching a little bit because I've never seen that color orb. And I know our current track is not dead yet. So let's see here. That's store. Okay, the top of my client is glitching a little bit. So let's go to mastery. Go to spend orbs. Okay, yeah, it was an orb from the current build. There we go. We have a Dispel and Exhale now. Forgive my backseating of the Weldex. Hey, no problem. Unlike a lot of other people, I don't mind backseating because the way I see it, having more eyes on my plays to help me understand them better is only a good thing. If I play with the mindset that I don't want people to backseat my games, then that's kind of like shutting me off from potentially learning from my own mistakes, if that makes any sense. Okay. That's not a good hand. We're going to mulligan that. That's a little bit better. We'll keep that. That looks good. All right, we'll keep that. We have Evolving into Armored into Urbrasks. So we're going to keep this. I'm going to send the Mishra's Foundry back so that we can play each of these cards here. Adaptive, go. Another problem with backseating is how they backseat to insult. Yeah, that is something that you do tend to see with a lot of other like content creators, specifically the more I don't want to say toxic or like problematic because you may know who I'm talking about if I say words like that, but I would say the more exuberant creators. Okay, well that kind of sucked. But we drew a land! That's awesome. Get that forge out there. Yeah, I am of the mindset that to teach is to learn twice. So if you manage to teach me something that I did not necessarily know before starting a stream or starting a deck tech or something like that, that can only be good things for me. Swing. Kutzel's Flanker? Say what? Okay. He's going to gain 2 life, scry 2, and then he's going to block and kill the Evolving Adaptive. Hard to police dozens of well-meaning but socially inexperienced chatters. That is absolutely true. That's definitely a big thing. And this is something that I have to remind myself of when it comes to like text messages and things like that, is that intention is really hard to convey without tone. Okay, sure, that's gone. So like in a text message, it's really difficult to convey tone because you don't have any like tonal intonation because it's not vocal, it's text. So a person on the other end of that text message is going to be very easily triggered one way or the other. And so like it can be difficult. That's all I'm saying. Tact is harder to learn without voice and body language. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely true. Okay, back to the game here. So our opponent is playing a form of Boros. They have a Restless Bouvoic and 5 cards in hand. My hand is laid bare. I ain't got nothing left. I got a Bloated Contaminator and an Urbrask Forge. Here's to hope we can go the distance. But our opponent is roping. I wonder why. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I would definitely detect an Elspeth or some other, like, token generator. Maybe a creature and a Sheltered by Ghosts. Something along those lines. Cards that you played so far: Lightning Helix, Get Lost, and Kutzil's Flanker. Yeah, this appears to be a pretty common archetype. But why, oh why, are they roping? You know what? I'm half tempted to do that myself. Here, let's get another oil count on the Urbrask Forge. Are they still roping? They might still be roping. I'm half tempted to get up and run to the kitchen real quick and go grab myself a drink, because this is a little bit much. It could be that, or it could be a case of they're playing on mobile and their phone overheated from all this oil that we're splashing everywhere. Hey, Miglaws. Play it. Next, swing. For a bunch. Pop, pop. And then proliferate. Extra counters on all my things. Let's do a map token onto the Bloated Contaminator. Spread the love around a little bit. Hey, Mishra's Foundry. Play it. End turn. And pass. I think like oil is a mechanic more than energy, even though energy is more effective. I love the Contaminator. I was trying to play the Slasher in the first version of this build, but I found that no matter what, or like no matter how wide the deck goes or how many permanents I play with oil counters on them, it usually only gets down to about 4 or 3 mana total as like discounted. So I figured, why not just play the Bloated Contaminator? Like it proliferates. It does things that this deck wants to do without needing to go through any additional hoops. So I went with the Bloated Contaminator over the Slasher. Yeah, I think our opponent left the game. Yeah, unfortunate. Yeah. Yeah, I have managed to get it all the way down to just a red and a green, which is an awesome feeling, but it requires so much to get through. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, the Contaminator does not need extra hoops to jump through. Well, that was unfortunate. I was recording that for a video, so I can't really use that footage. It's not translate into a good game. Let's go again. The Dragon Teval is viewed by the Sultai not as a leader, but an arbiter. She is pragmatic and bluntly honest. Never mind. Guhuhu Kun. Now that It's an interesting name. Okay, so we have 3 lands, a Fuseling, a Volt Charge, an Evolving Adaptive, and an Armored Scrap Gorger. I think I'll keep this hand. Okay, they mulligan down to 6. I'm going to go with the Copperline Gorge and hit the Evolving Adaptive first. That way, if we play into Armored Scrap Gorger on 2, it will grow. And that is what we're going to do. Attack for 2. Yeah, it's pretty decent. Not lots of nice small opens. Ooh. Don't like that. Alright, Carpelson Forest. Let's go Evolving Adaptive. Fuseling. Fuseling. And I guess start swinging. Pop. Okay, they play a Mycosynth Gardens into Llanowar Elves. And a Hedron Archive. Okay. Yeah, I think there might be an Ugin in my future here. But for the time being, let's Volt Charge that blocker. And proliferate. Swing. Alright, give him a 7. That proliferate though. Yep, called it. We got an Ugin. Resolve. Alright. They're gonna gain 3 life, draw a card, and do what else? Play a land? Can they play another colorless card? Does not look like it. Alright, end of turn. Let's add a white mana and get rid of that Llanowar Elves just to get an oil counter on the table. My turn. Okay. Well, I'm gonna play the Spinoderm. Get an extra oil counter. An extra counter on the Evolving Adaptive. And we're going to try and crunch you before you can pull yourself out of this hole. They will have to draw colorless spells, or they will. Yeah. But it is very likely they will. Yep, Hedron Archive. Alright, it's gone. Good thing is they can't target the Evolved Spinoderm. Bad thing is if they exile cards, the Exuberance Fuseling does not grow, which is bad for me. Okay, play a creature. Alright. Another counter goes away there. Another Evolved Spinoderm, huh? Okay. Well, we're going to attack. With everything right there. Not that, because there's nothing to exile anymore. Yep, block there. Alright, you go to 2. Alright, more counters on the Fuselings. Another Evolved Spinoderm. Remove that. Finally gets his 3rd oil counter. Alright. Comes down to this turn. Tap the Mazemind Tome. Get another counter on the Mazemind Tome. Now that Hauntwoods is going to become a creature at the end of this turn. Okay, so they popped their ultimate. Any number of colorless non-land cards, exile them, shuffle until on a turn you may cast those cards without paying their mana costs. So another Ugin is probably on the table. Yeah, there it is. Alright. You got an Ugin. Hedron Archive. Removes that. That's not good, man. Alright, so I only have one way out of this. And that is to draw a Volt Charge. That is the only way I'm getting out. Nope, not anymore. They gain 3 life. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you did good, friend. Good job. You get this game. Alright, let's move on to the second game. As far as this deck goes, I think we want 3 Tyvar's Stand. I'm going to drop the Churning Reservoirs for it. Yeah. Yeah, the deck definitely does have its ups and downs. But that can be said for any deck. I'll play first. 3 lands, a Forge, an Adaptive, a Bloated Contaminator, and an Evolved Spinoderm. I will keep this. It looks decent to me. Alright, go first. Get the Adaptive out there. Okay. Second turn. Unfortunately, we don't have any plays, but we do have a good turn 3 and 4. Yeah, I was looking for oil as a keyword. I was also looking for what's the term? I was looking for proliferate as a keyword. There weren't a whole lot of good options. That's why we're running cards like Volt Charge, a 3 mana actually, let's play this Spinoderm. A 3 mana Bolt. Knock him down. Hopefully we can race him. We'll see if we can get there. They're at 1, 2, 3, 4 mana, potentially 5. Maybe play a Hedron Archive this turn. Yeah, that's what I thought. And Maze My Tome, but no land played this turn. Interesting. Okay. Well, they did tap out this turn, so I'm going to play the Forge just to get another creature generator on the table. Alright, start swinging. Put him to 2. Moment of truth. Show me Ugin. That's 1, 2, 3. Nope. Nope. They did not. They did not. Okay. Yeah. I like it. We're gonna keep it. Yeah. Yeah. If they had a land, I believe they did have enough to play it. Okay, opponent goes first. We have 3 lands, a Migloz, a Volt Charge, an Adaptive, and a Tyvar's Stand. Keep. Would be better if we happen to have a Mana Dork in hand to help the Evolving Adaptive get bigger. But this works too. I'm going to attack and see if they choose to block. They're worried about it. Invasion of Zendikar. I have not seen that card in a long time. Yeah. Pass. My turn. Alright. Ooh. Contaminator. So we can go Migloz. We can go Forge. Or we can go Contaminator. I think I want to go with the Contaminator first, because it's going to be more damage next turn. Return Archive, okay. 2, play an Iron Crag, get more mana rocks out there. And a Scrap Gorger. Okay, let's go here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a lot. So let's go ahead and Volt Charge that right now. And swing. And if they manage to play an Ugin next turn, we have Tyvar's Stand available to prevent it from removing our creature. There it is. That's exactly what I thought. Alright. Let's stand it. Pay 0. Confirm. Cast. Yeah. Proliferate battles and proliferate the... what do you call them? the impending creatures. A lot of people don't see that coming. Okay, so let's go Forge. And let's go Evolving Adaptive. Okay, so they're at 10. We're not going to kill them this turn. So we're going to send them both at Ulugan. Try and punch his power down a little bit. There we go. Alright, Maze Mind Tome. It's disgusting. And another Maze Mind Tome. Jesus Christ. Alright. Get rid of the Forge. Yeah. You got this one, friend. GG. Yeah. Not having, like, direct removal for the Ugin kinda sucks. And that's definitely a downside of this deck, is there's not a lot of, like, good direct removal. Hey, Eaten by Piranhas. I really like that card. For its, like, its flavor. It's like a guy falls in the water, gets eaten by piranhas, all that's left is his skeleton. In the flavor text, it is ill-advised to swim where even the river heralds do not. That's a pretty cool card. Oh my god, they absolutely would fold to a single negate. That's a great insight. Okay, give me just one moment. We're not done with the stream yet, but I need to go to the kitchen, grab myself a drink. I will be right back. Oh yeah, negate's amazing. Another thing too is, like, it's an interesting choice to play that deck as a monocolor when you could absolutely ramp out with green and also splash blue for some protection. I'm really surprised someone would choose to just go all in on green like that. Okay, I'm gonna do one more. Let's go ahead and end that recording and start a new one. Hey, no problem, man. I don't stream that often. But if you have your notifications on, you'll see when I do go live. So have yourself a good night. Thanks for hanging out. White Breton is our next opponent. Very nice. Okay, I will play first. Ugh, but not with that hand. Oh god, not with that hand either. Jesus. Okay, we'll keep that. Send the Miglas back. It really sucks having to send 2 cards back. Because, like, these are all really good cards. I guess it's going to be the Canker Bloom. Alright, turn 1. Fuseling, go. God, that was awful. You know what's funny is you never see, like, hand shuffling that bad in best of 1. It's only in best of 3 I ever see it like that. Hit for 1. Forgotten Monument. Is this a Caves deck? Interesting. Okay, play Plains. And they play Ride's End. Okay. Alright, play the Forest. Play Urbrask's Forge. Comes in. Attack for 1. And if both of my artifacts survive till next turn, Charting Reservoir will make Urbrask's Forge a 2, and then it will be attacking for 3 by the time it comes to the attack phase. But that never came to fruition. C'est la vie. Alright, Cavernous Maw. Interesting, it is a cave stack. A very hard control cave stack. Yep, Fusling. Okay, another Forgotten Monument. Making dudes. Alright, well, I guess we'll play the Scrap Gorger. Really not a whole lot else to do. No tax. Them having that removal for the forge really hurt us. Yeah, let's go to the next game. We know what this deck's about. Okay, so Brotherhood's End for the tokens, and do we want the Diverse Stand? I'm not certain about that. We'll just do that. We'll bring those in. Go down 1, 1, and 1, and say go. All right, Mr. Cretan, let's have a good game. Alright, I will play first. Alright, we got 3 lands, a Mishra's Foundry, and 2 mountains. Unfortunately, we don't have any green mana, but we do have a Forge and a Volt Charge. We could potentially draw into green. We'll keep it. Alright, we're gonna go with the Mishra's Foundry first. Alright, play a tapped land. Hey, there's green. Let's go with the Scrap Gorger. Hidden Volcano. Interesting. Is the volcano cave? It is a cave. How interesting. I was not aware of that. Alright, attack for 1. Here's to hoping they don't have what they need to get rid of my forge. They didn't. Sweet. Alright, let's go here. Let's go Miglas. Make a dude. Next, attack for 2. And do we play the Fusling? Yeah, let's play the Fusling. It'll get an oil counter from that creature dying. Okay, play a Swamp. What are they going to play now? Bat Colony. When this enchantment enters, create a 1/1 black bat creature token with flying for each mana from a cave spent to cast it. Whenever a cave you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Now that's an interesting deck. You know, I gotta say, I kind of like what you're doing here. 3 bats. Alright, my turn. Alright. So, next, make a dude. Next, attack with dudes. So this deck's idea is to just go wide and drop an Imidane's Recruiter. I think that's the plan here. Alright, Fusling gets bigger. But we're still at 20 health though, so I don't know how much damage they're going to be able to do. Alright, plus encounter on a single creature. Gargantuan Leech. 1 less to cast for each cave you control and each cave in your graveyard. Okay, cool. I like what you're doing here. This is pretty fun. Alright, my turn, huh? Okay. Whale. Let's go ahead and Volt Charge. Your face. My turn. Alright. We're gonna go ahead and remove an oil counter. Give Vigilance. Go next. Make a dude. Say next. Swing, swing, swing. Go for it. Alright, block with those. And that. And that's going to block that. Okay. So I'm going to Volt Charge that. And then we're going to proliferate everything. So the Exuberant Fuseling has enough power to deal with the Gargantuan Leech now. You do gain 5 life back, though. Alright, end turn. Pass. Meglas is such an underrated card. I love it so much. Alright, what do you got for me, champ? I only have 1 card left in hand. Obluth. Okay, cool. Gain some life. Alright, end of turn. Add a green. Get rid of your card. Get some oil. My turn. Okay. Card. We're going to animate the worker. Then we're going to give Vigilance and Menace, so you cannot block Miglas. Urbrask Forge is going to create a 7-1, and then we're going to attack, attack, attack. What you got? Okay. So block like that. We're going to remove 2 more counters, give +2 to Miglas, and hopefully end the game. Yep. GG. Okay. Next game. Now that we've seen a little bit more of our opponent's deck there, is there anything else we might want to bring in? Because they're not playing a whole lot of removal. Tell you what, let's bring in 1 more Bloated Contaminator and drop another Churning Reservoir. Because the reservoir is really... They are doing work for the deck, but I think having more beefy boys in the deck is going to eventually lead to us just winning. And here's to hoping we just don't get mana screwed in this last game. Okay. 4 lands. Opponent goes first. Fuseling, Volt Charge, and Evolving Adaptive. Not the best open, but we have an opportunity to draw into good stuff. Alright, they open with Forgotten Monument, and they give me more land. Not what I was hoping for. They play Promising Vein. I like that the Forgotten Monument turns all their caves into, what is it? City Brass. I think that's pretty cool. Right, let's play Mishra's Foundry. Play Exuberant Fuseling. Gets an oil counter. Attack for 1. Okay, play a Cavernous Maw. And a Bat Colony. Making dudes. Alright, Carpelson Forest. Play an Armored Scrap Gorger. Attack for 3. They take the damage. Alright, another Captivating Cave to make our bat a little bit bigger. Do they attack? They do. Alright, take some damage. Alright, play this forest. Animate the assembly worker. Say next. Anoint. Okay, so we will tap this for colorless mana. Tap this for red. And then tap this for red. And then we'll remove your card, get an oil counter, and we will Volt Charge your creature. Proliferate everyone. And then we will attack. Which is a 10. Alright. Bat Colony puts another +1 counter on our bat friend. And they attack. Calamitous Cave. Oh, that's not good for me at all. Especially because I'm drawing lands now. End turn. And they have Cavernous Maws that they can just turn into creatures. Not good. Alright, resolve it. What can this do? 3/3 elemental creature till my turn. Still a cave. Activate only if the number of the caves you control plus the number of cave cards in your graveyard is 3 or greater. Okay. Well, swing in. Kill your cave. Alright, so we need a creature. That's a land. I don't need more lands. I need creatures. Come on. I have too many lands already. Up to Beanstalk. Okay. Draw a card. It's a pretty cool card. Well, that'll be good once they start playing some tokens out. It's not good right now, though. Name's Recruiter. Alright. Make some babies. Alright, well, look at that. We drew yet another land. So let's go ahead and Immodane. Alright, another land. Yeah, animate. Come on in. Hit me for 3. Oh, and you didn't attack. That's an odd choice. Well, now we have a creature finally. I'm just going to hold that last land in my hand to try and bluff them out. Make them think I have another Volt Charge or something. Ah, come on, man. That's not cool at all. Well, what you gonna do? Do the creature, put a +1 counter on it. There you go. Hey, Spino. That's good because they can't kill it. At least not with a targeted removal spell. What are you going to do? You have an Imdane's Recruiter, 3 other cards in hand. So they chose not to do anything. Alright, well, we have a Forge. That's pretty cool. Kill it before it can animate a creature. There you go. Attaboy. Athar Commando, okay. Well, we're still swinging. You want to block? Oh, he's going to animate a land and then block with both. Smart move. Yeah, he is blocking with both. Odd choice. He probably thinks I have some burn in my hand or something like that. End turn. Hey, other creature. Commando's now a 4/2. He plays a lot of artifact-based hate. Ooh, I think I'm just dead now. Yeah, that puts me to 2. Ouch. Yeah, I think you just got me, friend. You definitely just got me. Here you go. Armor Scrap Gorger. Suck on that. Here, have a forest. GG. Oh my god. That was terrible. I swear, there's only 24 lands in the deck. I'm half tempted to go down to 23 after that showing. Jeez. Okay, so I say we got enough time. for one more best of 3 game before we call it quits for the night. So let's go get it. And let's hope for a better matchup. Because that was a wild match. Caves. I've not seen Caves being played since the set with Caves came out. Either way, GG. Okay, we're gonna play first. But not with a hand with no lands in it. Come on now. Okay, that's a little bit better. Keep all of that. Send 1 Scrap Gorger back. Boom. Alright, Carpelson Forest for the Evolving Adaptive. That's a really cool card back. I like that. Alright, second turn. Armored Scrap Gorger. Evolving Adaptive gets +1. Attack for 2. And it looks like our opponent is a Jeskai player. Inspiring Advantage. Into a Surge Engine. Interesting. Ooh. Well, we did not get a 3rd land, which kind of sucked, but we can still play a Bloated Contaminator and attack for 3. Okay, so they can make the creature unblockable, or they can tap oh, what are they doing? Exile 1 target creature until this equipment leaves the battlefield. When this equipment becomes attached to a creature for as long as the equipment... Okay, I got you. I know enough. You want to block? Come on, block it. Come on, I know you wanna. If they block it. Okay, they're not gonna block it. Okay, so I'm going to play the Exuberant Fuseling and hold on to my Canker Bloom until they decide to try and equip the Aegis onto the Search Engine. Let's see what they do. That's a pretty cool card, though. Repurposing Bay, huh? Okay, sure. Pass. Okay, end of turn. Destroy target artifact. Fuseling gets a little bit bigger. Contaminator comes back, makes Evolving Adaptive bigger. Evolve Spinoderm comes in. Let's eliminate the Assimilation Aegis. Gets bigger. Swing, swing, swing. What do you do? Concede. Yeah, I would say that's what you do. Okay, so this is a Jeskai artifact stack. So I think Brotherhood's End might want to come in just to come in for destroy all artifacts. So we're going to bring 3 of those in, and we're going to bring 2 Canker Blooms. And we're going to remove the 3 Churning Reservoirs, 1 Spinoderm, and I don't want to get rid of that. I think we'll get rid of... Tell you what, we'll just play 2 Brotherhood's End and call it a day. Okay, so our opponent is going to choose who will play first, and then they will choose if they want to take a mulligan or not. Meanwhile, we just have to sit here and wait for them. Record with this deck? I have not been keeping too close of a track of it, but it's been decent. I'll double check once this game is over because I have Untapped available, and we can take a look at the overall record after this game is over. Okay, opponent goes first. 3 lands. Fusling, Forge, Cankerbloom, and Evolve Spinoderm. I'm going to keep it all. Looks good. Okay, Seachrome Coast comes down. So our first turn is going to be Carpelson Forest into Exuberant Fusling. Say 1-1. Also, hello. How you doing tonight? Hope you're having a good time. What? You're playing a chainsaw? That's just messed up, man. Okay. Second turn. You have a Cankerbloom to play. Dusk Rose Reliquary. Sacrificing the chainsaw to make it happen. Okay. I'm into it. Alright. Carpelson Forest. Let me go with the Urbrask Forge. Making babies. Swing for 1. Ooh, no land. That's not good for you, my friend. Alright, we're going to go with the Bloated Contaminator. I'm going to go next. Attack for 2. And then we're going to play the Exuberant Fusling so we can get an extra oil counter off of that creature dying at end of turn. It does suck getting stuck on lands. I do not feel great about that. But if they can pull something out of their hat, I mean, now would be the time to do it. Looks like it didn't happen for them. That sucked. Okay, so let's take a peek-see at our records so far tonight. So, I'll go and end that. Ooh, a Bloodthorn Flail. How do you like that? Alright, untapped. Oh no, we don't want the account settings. We want the record for tonight. Profile, that's where we want to go. Okay, so I'm going to move this over to our web browser so we can actually see what we're looking at here. Okay. Okay, you should be able to see my web browser now. So we're going to scroll down and take a look at our overall. Okay, so Diddy Party is at an average win rate of 50%. We played 6 matches overall, or 12 matches overall, 6 and 6, 50%. Let's see how well it did. So, against Black, we won 100% of our games. Against Azorius, we won 100% of our games. Against Orzhov, the same story. Against Red, not too hot. Then also we have against Boros, we won. Against Jeskai, we won. Against Rakdos, we lost. Against Mono Green, we lost. We lost against Golgari, against Teamer, and against 4 Color. Going a little bit further down. Win rate 50%, on play 86%, on draw 30%. So this deck does really rely on you drawing or playing first. But that's to be expected with most aggressive decks. But yeah, that's the way it looks for this deck so far. But we've only been playing for about an hour and a half with this deck so far tonight. So we are going to go ahead and play one more match, because that last match was kind of bunk. So let's go back to gameplay. There we are. All right, back to the game. All right, here we go. All right, so we've been playing for an hour and 40 minutes right now. We're going to play one more match of traditional standard best of 3. Wish me luck. All right, our opponent is the Dingo. We will play first. 4 lands, an Exuberant Fusling, a Cankerbloom, and a Meaglaws. That's 1 into 2 into 3. So it's got a good curve. I'm gonna keep it. And the fact that we get to go first is pretty awesome. And our opponent just mulliganed. Alright, they dropped down to 6 cards. So, let's go here into Useling. Hit that oil counter. Alright, they play a Black Cleave Cliffs. Let's go Carpless and Forest. Attack for 1. Then we're going to play an Armored Scrap Gorger. Okay, Raucous Theater, Surveil 1. What's that? Two-Headed Hunter. Interesting. I've never seen that in a standard deck before. I'm very curious now. So let's play Miglaws, but we're going to tap this for a Grain and remove that card, and then play this. Next, attack for 1. We're going to do our best to keep their graveyard nice and empty. Alright, Black Cleave Cliffs again. Unholy Annex. Okay, I'm into it. Pass. Pass. Resolve. Alright, my turn. Alright, let's go here. Going to go -3. Eliminate that. And then we're going to play Involving Adaptive. Eliminate that from their graveyard. And then we're going to attack. Put them to 11. End turn. Swamp into Far Fortune the End Boss. Start your engines whenever you attack. Far Fortune deals 1 damage to each opponent. Max speed of a source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls. It deals damage +1 instead. Okay, cool. I like what you got going on there, friend. Alright, my turn. Ooh, Carpeline Gorge. A little bit too late, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and play the Kinkerbloom. Then I'm going to remove an oil counter to give Miglaws Vigilance until end of turn. Or Menace, more importantly. Next, attack here for 4 damage. Put him to 7. End turn. Kick off Celebrations. Okay. Okay, they're going to discard a card and draw 2. That was a mountain they just discarded. A very pretty John Avon mountain. Into Barnot Bastronaut. Is this a max speed deck? I'm seeing a lot of start your engines over here. Are you sure? Alright, my turn. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to go next. I'm going to attack with this, attack with this, attack with this, attack with this. You know what? Let's send the whole team. And let's also give Menace. Okay, block there. Block there. Okay, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7. That's Xaxes. And give +1. Okay. Sure. Good game, friend. Alright, let's go into game 2. That's an interesting build. I don't think I've seen anything quite like it before. So let's see. I did not see any removal from our opponent, so they might not be playing a whole lot of interaction. So I think I'm just going to bring in an extra couple of Kinkerblooms for some extra pressure. Drop 1 Churning Reservoir, and honestly, I'm going to drop one Mishra's Boundary. Alright, Mr. Dingo. Best of luck to you. Okay, 1 land is not going to cut it. 4 lands, a little bit better. We can send one of those lands back. Fuseling, Adaptive, and Scrap Gorger. Keep all that. Send... I'm going to send the mountain back. Alright, opponent opens with a Black Cleave Cliffs into a Stalactite Stalker. That's a pretty cool opening creature. I'm going to go Copperline Gorge into Evolving Adaptive. So they're probably going to play a Start Your Engines creature this turn. Oh, no, just going to swing on in. Mountain into Gastal Thrillseeker. Yeah, that works. Okay, let's go Forest into Scrap Gorger. Evolving Adaptive gets a little bit bigger, but I can't attack into a 3-body. Alright, Swamp. Swing like that, huh? Alright, 2 of those to block. Yep, take that too. Alesha. Alright, I like it. Alright, let's go here. Let's go... yeah. Okay, let's go... yeah, let's go Fuseling. Get a counter. Then we'll go Volt Charge, targeting that. Proliferate. Then attack. Alright, take 3, go to 18. Alright, Surveil 1. A Rockhurst Rakshasa. Interesting. And another Stalactite Stalker. Oh, can't block the Minache. No blocks. Go to 13. Alright, let's go Foundry to Armored Scrap Gorger. Then we go next. Attack for 3. Can't attack with a Fuseling against a double strike. Alright, end of turn. Rockhurst Rakshasa. Alright, well, if it can't block this turn, so we're going to add green to the mana pool. Eliminate Alesha. And let it resolve. In fact, we're actually going to use that mana to animate the Mishra's Foundry. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go... both of these block that. Want to kill my land? Come on, kill my land. Let the Exuberant Fuseling live. Yep, that's what I thought. Alright, Fuseling gets a little bit bigger. Alright, Carpels and Forest. Tanker Bloom. This is a rough situation I'm in. 1, 2, that's 6, 8. They get just 1 more damage, they just win. So, we'll go next. I'll just attack with the Fuseling. Oh god, these permanently have decayed. That's nasty. That's really disgusting. Okay, attack for 3. End turn. So we can block 1 creature this turn. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, that's game. We'll go to the next game. We'll get him on the rebound. Okay. So, since they're playing this way, I think we're going to bring the Brotherhood's End in now. Drop 1 Volt Charge. Drop 2 Spinoderms. There we go. That'll do. Alright, Dingo. Let's make this a game to remember. Play first. Okay. 5 lands, a Brotherhood's End, Volt Charge, and a Canker Bloom. I'm going to keep it because it has the good removal. Alright. Foundry comes down first. Lost Jite. Okay. I like it. Kicker Bloom. Stalactite Stalker. Into Burst Lightning. Cool. Alright, let's go with the Mountain. I'm going to play an Exuberant Fuseling. End turn. Another Burst Lightning. Okay. You got it, champ. Burn through those Burst Lightnings. I'm okay. Gastal. Okay. Alright, take the damage. My turn. Alright. Untap. Evolved Spinoderm. Can't target this. Surveil 1. Yep, come on in. Alright, so let's go ahead and... Oh, dude, we can't really do that. That sucks. Alright, well, in that case, we're going to Volt Charge. Actually, no, cancel. We're not going to do that yet. We're going to attack first. Attack with 5. Alright, take the damage. Then we're going to play the Evolving Adaptive. And then play the Volt Charge on Stalactite Stalker. And then proliferate our creatures. Fire Fortune, huh? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to block that. That's just silly. Okay. Let's see. Next. Attack. Block there. Perfect. That works perfectly for me. Are you good 11? Oh, shoot. It would have worked perfect if I had the extra red mana. I keep forgetting I don't have double red right now. Yeah. So we're going to take that 1. We're going to block the Gastal. We might be losing this game. As they are coming at us really hard. Another Lost GT. That Lost GT is performing pretty well for them. Oh, did they seriously play a second legendary? I guess they did, didn't they? Okay. Okay, so here's the thing. If I play Brotherhood's End right now, we'll wipe most of what they have going on over there. But they'll still have Far Fortune to punch our face in next turn with. Because they'll be able to make it so a creature can't block. But I guess we kind of have to do it. We don't really have any other choice. Oh, that gives +1. Ah, shoot. Okay, yeah, you win. GG. Damn, that sucked. The very, very interesting deck, though. Very interesting. GT. Was not expecting someone to come at me with a GT tonight. Okay, Lewis, let's play some Magic. Okay, under normal circumstances, that would be a keepable hand, but I need lands to play my spells. Mulligan. Okay, that's a little bit better. Keep that. Send one of my 2 Miglas back. Alright, opponent opens with a Creosote Heath, deals 1 damage to me. I will play Forest to play Evolving Adaptive. Alright, play Plains in Heir Apparent. Great. It's one of these. I hate this deck so much. Alright, Scrap Gorger. Alright, take 2. These silly decks where you can just put a million of the same card into the deck, it's so dumb. I really hate it. Alright, let's play an Evolved Spinoderm. Attack for 3. Alright, block with 1 rabbit. During Innocence, huh? Alright. Okay, let's play this land here. Then we'll play Urbrask's Forge. Go to the attack step. Attack. These rabbit decks are really the most annoying thing possible. I really hate playing against them. And it's not because, like, they're good. It's mostly because they're annoying. Alright, rabbit. Then play a Heir Apparent, make a whole ton of rabbits. Yeah, exactly. So, I'm just gonna go to the next game. I'm gonna bring in my my answer to that card. Let's see. Got those. Alright, let's go. Here's to hoping we can draw them. Alright, looks like our opponent is contemplating their sideboard. Alright. Let's go. Can't keep that hand. That hand's about as bad. But I don't want to go to 5. Alright. Blossoming Sands, they gain a life. Well, that would have been useful last turn. But now it's too late, so we play the Cankerbloom. Alright, play Blossoming Sands into a Hinterland Sanctifier. Alright, well, let's go with another boundary. We'll attack for 3. Yeah, I don't think you would want to block that. Let's play the Contaminator. During Innocence, huh? Okay. Would love to have that red mana right now. Mm-hmm. And proliferate. End of turn. Yep. Get your bunnies. Another Sanctifier, huh? Alright, really need some red mana. I don't think we're going to be able to pull out a win without getting access to red. Well, there's one red. Alright, let's go ahead and play the Forge. Okay. Yep. Submit. I wonder if he's ever going to put enough blockers in front of the Contaminator. That's a good question. Yep. Make some dudes. Make more dudes! If you can't tell, I really hate this deck. I really hate this deck. It's the most stupid, ridiculous deck. Block the hair. Okay, we're getting closer to being able to do things. Let's play Miglaws. Let's go to attack phase. Attack with those. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And block there. Yeah, I'm into it. 2, 1, 1, 0. Yeah. Alright, play some more rabbits. An etched cornfield. Day of Judgment? Alright. I mean, I was gonna wipe your board anyway, so sure. Alright, play that. Go ahead and animate that as a land. Say next. Go to attacks. Put you to 15. Gotta say, I was not expecting them to clear the board for me. Unless their hand is just a lot of rabbits. And it could be. Do you have a way to deal with the Forge, though? Alright, Sanctifier. Into more rabbits. Alright, well, let's play the adaptive. Do you want to block the land? Okay, that works for me. Oh, blocking with 2. This is a very strange player. He's just letting me wipe them. Okay, yeah. More rabbits. As many rabbits as you can, friend. Oh. Well, that screws me. I literally have to draw Brotherhood's End this turn. Otherwise, I'm dead. Yeah. Do your thing, friend. Jesus Christ. This stupid fucking deck. Wow, yeah. That's it. GG. Literal garbage. Okay, well, I literally cannot end the night on a game like that. That was so ridiculous. So we have to go again. No rabbits. No rabbits. Please, no rabbits. Stupid fucking deck. All right. Mulligan that. Keep that. Send that back. All right. Copper line into Fuseling. Get an oil counter. Make it a 1/1. Okay. Swamp into Demonic Council. Okay, so they go get a demon. And the demon of choice is Thraxodemon. Okay, sure. Let's go and play this. Actually, let's play the Mishra's Foundry first. And then play the Canker Bloom. And attack for 1. Thraxodemon, huh? Sacrifice another creature or artifact, draw a card. Is it just to fuel the room? It might be. Okay, let's play this. And let's say go. Attack for 3. Do you block? He does not block. Okay. Contaminator. Alright, 4th Swamp into Go for the Throat. Makes the Exuberant Fuseling a little bit stronger. There we go. Alright, Copper Line, Urabrask. Make a dude. Swing Batter. Do you block now? No, you do. Put you at 13. Extra counter on the Fuseling. Extra counter on the Fuseling. It's a 4/1 now. If they have a cut down, they can still get it. Desecration Demon. Beginning of each combat, any opponent may sacrifice a creature of their choice. If a player does, tap this creature, put a plus and plus a counter on. Now, decline. But what I will do is I will play an Evolving Adaptive. Great creature to sacrifice. Yeah. Super Fuseling gets bigger. Swing Batter. End turn. Fuseling gets bigger. Right, you need to deal with the Fuseling now. Good thing about Mono Black is they can't deal with Urabrask's Forge. Okay. Comes in, you make a 6/6 demon. Okay. I will decline. Alright, end of turn. 3 to your face. Proliferate. Foundry becomes a dude. Next. GG. Yeah, that works out. Okay, so our opponent needs to be able to deal with Urbrask's Forge, and I don't think they can. So if we get a Forge in our opening hand in game 2, then that could be pretty good for us. So what I want to do is I'm going to bring in 3 copies of Tyvar's Stand. I'm going to drop 1, 1, and 1. Say go. Just trim the numbers a little bit. Alright, Justin. Let's see what you got. Okay, well, we did have the Forge, but no colored lands. Alright, that's a little bit better. 3 Volt Charges, though. Gotta get rid of that. Alright. Forest. I'm going to play a second Swamp. We will play Mountain into Scrap Gorger. Do you have removal for it? Sure do. Let's play another Swamp. Unholy Annex. Okay. Alright, well let's go ahead and play Scrap Gorger again. Pass the turn. Alright, Swamp into Bloodletter. Not good. Really not good. Yeah, really not good. Game 3. At least game 3 we get to go first. Mono Black Demons, huh? Okay. Alright, play first. Okay, we got 4 lands. A Volt Charge, a Scrap Gorger, and a Contaminator. Mulligan. Okay, that's a little bit better. Keep that. Get rid of Meglaws. Keep the others. Alright, we're gonna open with a Forest. They open with a Swamp. And a Duress that hits nothing. Gotta love that. Alright, Scrap Gorger. But now they know that I have an Evolved Spinoderm in my hand, which means they need to get rid of the Armored Scrap Gorger. Oh, they're just playing Battlefly Swarms. Okay, that's an odd choice. So let's go Evolving Adaptive into Cankerbloom. No attacks. Demonic Council. Alright. Go get it. They went for Desecration Demon. Okay, end of turn. Make a black mana and eat your Demonic Council. My turn. Alright, Mountain. Evolving Adaptive. Evolved Spinoderm. Get rid of your other card. Swing. Give Death Touch. Block there. Leaving the Cankerbloom alone. Interesting choice. I probably would have wanted to get rid of the Cankerbloom to protect your rooms. Decline. Yeah, I think we'll sacrifice the Cankerbloom. No, cancel. resolve, sacrifice that. So you tap, attack with everything, get rid of that, put you to 6. Okay, play an Unholy Annex. Decline to sacrifice a creature. Right. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. No matter which creature I would have sacrificed, that was going to be 8 damage to your face. Alright, awesome. That is something pretty good about this deck is mono black has a hard time with it. A really hard time. Like, all of the mono black decks that we played against tonight, we have won. Okay, so, good. We ended this this stream on a win, so I think now is a great time to end the stream. So, I thank you all very much for coming in to join me tonight. And you can look forward to these games being made into VODs to go onto the channel later this week. So, thank you very much for spending your time with me tonight, and until next time, take care of yourselves.